Doing the Goloks, one thing that I do that's different than all the rest of my blades is I address the blade long ways to the 10-inch, 6-inch wheel, whatever it is here. So I use one way or the other. So on there I've got the 4-inch, I got the big sort of 10-inch that I can put on Loki, for a variety of reasons. Initially it's to get this section here into a smoother transition. Now if you're grinding buy-in, one of the wood law things that we all do, okay, general happens you have a very pronounced plunge line with about 2 or 3 mil of a sweep in, okay, the plunge it's called. That is absolutely fine with a wood carving blade. Now, don't ever get worried that it's a very abrupt start and stop of the grind. When it comes to blades like this, a big, long, heavy, possibly hitting hardwood, possibly hitting half of a tree, okay, not necessarily a great thing having a really well defined, well executed plunge line about there, because if you can imagine the shock and strain, okay, the steel's come along this thick and then is that thick, okay, and it imparts not necessarily a weak point, but a point where the stresses and strains are this much, and then within a few millimeter are completely different. Okay, so it sets up an imbalance in a way. So to have a long transition like what you see there allows the stresses and strains, to sort of even themselves out. Now, if you imagine you had a 4x2 piece of wood and you cut a neat 2-inch out, and it stopped like that, you took the noggin out, so it went along, big step up and along, and you put some weight on it, there's more than likely a chance that if you instead made a pronounced sweep but still went down 2 inches for the same amount of travel, okay, it's still 2 inches for the same amount, but instead of an abrupt cut where all the grain of the wood was there and then not, if you did that where the cut swept down, there is every chance that the extra support between the fibres of the transition as it swept up would impart more strength to the 4x2 as you put weight on it. Okay, it's the same sort of thing that's going on when I do those. So that's the main reason why I address the blade like that. The other way is this, that if ever you've got a blade that was ground that way and you see all the striations of the grit going, it looks pretty neat and tidy, but if you've got a really flat piece of steel or wood, got some memory paper, put it on a bevel and you went like that, there's every chance that there is that going on, okay, inescapable, minuscule, but that going on. Again, a change in transition of the thickness of the material. So what I'm doing is as I'm evening it up, okay, taking highs and lows out on a wheel as opposed to a 2-inch plat, and I'm on a 4-inch or a 10-inch wheel, again blurring it out, smoothing it out. Okay, that's another reason. Another reason is I can quite accurately put a 5-degree bevel on my plat here without hitting the mounting bolts, without addressing the blade too near vertical. 5 degrees is quite an easy-ish way to get a 5-degree bevel, is alright. You start doing the 2s and the 3s when you're using the jig, okay, it's not quite as easy, because you're probably going to end up scuffing the neat transition from there to there. Now, in order to make it better to slice and remove weight and slightly convex it, what I could then do, okay, is find a 5-degree bevel and then freehand grind it. So I'm finding a 5-degree bevel and then freehand grind it to bring the shoulders of that thing up, okay, to remove a little bit more material and blend in the 5-degree with the flat of the blade. Or I put it on the wheel and turn it ever so slightly, so now the wheel, the rubbery wheel behind the belt, is moving the shoulders of the bevel up a bit. So I'm turning it from a 5 into maybe a 3.8, 4 degree. Okay, so I'm leaning the blade out. I'm also not having a transition of flat to 5 degree. Yet again, smoothing the transitions out. Okay. And then what I'm also doing is I'm looking down the edge, and when I'm on the wheel, I'm turning it in there to get that even sweep, to get the thickness exactly where I want it, because later on I'm going to put a 17 on for the cutting bevel, again on the wheel. And then the other thing is this, when I put the bevel on, I've got to put it flat to hand finish it to put the logo on anyway. So why not, while I'm at it, do the flats and the bevels on the same damn attachment on the machine. Plus, what I'm doing is I'm getting my sword grinding skills up. Moving on, see you on the next one.